Okay, the best thing about Halloween for me is seeing the little kids dress up. I don't get very many students or children to come trick-or-treating at my house, so the ones that do show up are extra special.
The best thing about Halloween is the spooky aspect. I know that's kind of the whole thing, but I think it's really fun because a lot of people like to be scared. I'm one of those people that like to be scared. There's haunted houses, which could be really fun to go to, or you can just stay at home and watch scary movies, and it's a great time.
For me, Halloween is kind of fun. My birthday is right before Halloween, so as a kid, we would celebrate my birthday sometimes and have like Halloween-themed birthday parties, which was always fun. Friends would dress up, we'd play typical games, things like that. I still like Halloween, but I don't really do much. Once in a while, I'll go to a party or something, but usually it's more just a chance to have an excuse to eat some pretty good candy.
So I have a couple of favorite costumes that I have had the chance to wear. When I was a child, my parents always helped us make all of our costumes from scratch, so we had like homemade costumes. And one year I dressed as a box of M&Ms, so I had a brown box that had the M&M's logo down the front, and then I had a paper mache head that was supposed to look like a green M&M. So that was one of my favorite costumes to wear because I grew up in Manchester, and they do a parade through town, and all the students get to wear their costumes and parade through town.
I don't know why really, but as a kid, I think I gravitated to like pirate costumes. And I think Raphael from Ninja Turtles was always a fun one. I don't know why, I just kind of was my go-to, or those were my go-to costumes.
Well, I don't really dress up for Halloween because I feel like it's kind of been marketed as like a kids holiday, and so there's not a lot of things to do for like either like older kids or adults, so there's not really a point in it, in my opinion. About the candy thing, I will dress up if it means I can pretend I'm younger than I am and go trick-or-treating like everyone else. I do use my sister as an excuse to get candy when I take her trick-or-treating. Yes.
I do not like carving pumpkins. I do not like the feeling of the seeds on my skin and the goop scooping them out. So I am very excited that I don't have to do that for my children anymore. I do, however, make sure that they always have an opportunity to have a jack-o'-lantern and to carve a pumpkin.
I do like carving pumpkins. With other people. I wouldn't really do it by myself, but like I like doing it with other people because it's kind of hard to think of designs by yourself, so it's kind of fun to like either like have like matching pumpkins with someone else or like coordinate it with other people to see what design you want to do.
I think it is really fun to go to like Armstrong's Farm in Pownell and pick out like locally grown pumpkins. They've always been really really nice, really good people to chat with or whatever when we'd stop by. But it is kind of fun to carve the pumpkins, or what I actually found that I do more recently is I get pie pumpkins, so like sweeter edible pumpkins, and actually make pumpkin pie, which sets up perfectly for Thanksgiving this time of year.
What do I like most about Thanksgiving? I like being together with my family. I had to spend a very long time not with my family. I lived in the UK for 11 years, and so that meant that not only did I not get to be with my family on Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving wasn't celebrated in the UK. We managed because we would often invite our close friends and some of my ex-husband's cousins over, but it would never be on actual Thanksgiving.
I normally like the desserts at Thanksgiving. I'm not a huge family person, but it's really fun like when a lot of people like bring different desserts and you get to try them all.
I like Thanksgiving mainly for getting together with friends and family, and I am a big fan of cooking and, of course, eating the food. It is always nice to show, that we're grateful or thankful for what we do have, because I think people tend to focus more on what we don't have or what we want rather than what we are fortunate enough to have. So it is a good chance not only to get together with people, but to enjoy those and think about and focus on those things as well.
So historically, my mother did all the cooking because that's one of her love languages. She likes to cook for people and make sure that they have a really good meal. But now that she's gotten older and she's had some health issues, my brother and I really try to take over more of the cooking. However, I do not like cooking turkey at all. It is not my thing. So my brother is in charge of cooking the turkey, and then I'm in charge of cooking things like the mashed potatoes and some of the other casseroles that are provided. And my mom is required to make the corn pudding because my brother will not accept anyone else's version. So
For Thanksgiving, my mom usually makes everything. Other people are up to like bring desserts and stuff, but like she usually cooks the duck and she makes all the side dishes and stuff.
Yeah, my whole family likes to cook for Thanksgiving, so I think every member of my family likes to contribute. We all have kind of our specialties, things that we enjoy. But as a kid, I would help my mom cook. My dad also liked to cook quite a bit, so I'd say we've had a whole tradition of cooking tasty food.
stuffing has always been one of my favorites, and the corn pudding is also good. I've liked all the variations that my mom has made over the years, but my brother's a little bit more rigid about it.
I would say the mac and cheese. My mom makes mac and cheese is my favorite side dish for Thanksgiving. My mom makes this like homemade mac and cheese. It's like really good. She just bakes it in the oven and comes out really good.
Huh, that's a tough one. My favorite side dish, I think I actually more recently have really liked like homemade or kind of more real, not canned green bean casserole, for example. So like green beans with crispy onions on top, whatever else you put in it. But I think that's one that I've really enjoyed lately, and I think that's one that I would kind of go to first. I've never been a huge stuffing fan, although I tend to still eat a little of it. It's not really one of my favorites. And I do really like also like real mashed potatoes, so with some like garlic and butter, good flavor added.
Okay, so I really enjoy the Christmas break. I think it's a good time for everybody to take a deep breath and get a little bit of rest. The trouble is that the Christmas holidays, there's always so much activity going on. I've historically been involved in my church, so that would mean like a children's pageant and trying to get my kids there on time.
I normally like to spend it at home. We don't really travel for Christmas. We don't really invite people over for Christmas, so we kind of just spend it at home. We, just chill out, try to stay warm.
We have kind of a fun family tradition. My father took after his father, so my grandfather. He actually he helped Santa by playing Santa every year. So he has a costume, or had a costume, that his father made. And he would go around and kind of surprise kids and, do guest appearances, things like that. My father did the same thing. So that's kind of become a really fun family tradition that at least parts of my family almost like expect every year.
So I do not like watching Christmas advertisements from like October all the way through. I feel like that is too stressful and it puts so much pressure on lots of people, and it's not necessary. So I don't like that.
The thing I like the most about Christmas is like obviously the presents. I like seeing people's reactions to the gifts I give them, and I also like receiving the gifts that I get. What I hate the most about Christmas is like anything else that has to do with Christmas. Like I'm not a fan of Christmas movies or Christmas music. You know, the holiday decorations are tacky. I don't like all the festivities.
I don't know if there's anything I really like dislike. Well, I guess one thing that's not ideal about Christmas is how a lot of people kind of view it as a time to be selfish right after Thanksgiving when we're trying to be grateful and thankful for things. People tend to focus on what they want, right? I want this, please give me that. I think it's nicer just to focus on, yes, I think giving gifts is nice, but I think it's nicer to spend time with people that you care about and kind of continue Thanksgiving in a positive way.
Wow, that is a really good question because I've talked a lot about family. And I do like spending Christmas with my family. But because I lived in the UK for 11 years, there was a long time that I didn't get to spend Christmas with my direct family. There were even times that we weren't able to go to Scotland to be with my husband's family. So we learned to celebrate with our neighbors on our little street. We had some wonderful neighbors. And then I actually had, when I studied in London as a student in college, I lived with a host family. And my host mother remained a very close friend to me and to my family, and so she became kind of a surrogate grandmother, so we would sometimes spend our Christmas with her as well. So a little bit of both.
I prefer to spend Christmas like with my family, but it's normally just like the immediate family, not really like extended family, really, because I don't know. We usually believe that like Christmas, like Thanksgiving is the day for like extended family and stuff, and we usually think that like Christmas is like a just in the household type of family event.
I prefer both. I like to spend Christmas with my family and with my friends.